Tom lived a very simple life. He worked at a small repair shop in the city, fixing radios and old machines that most people no longer cared about. His days were quiet and uneventful. He never thought of himself as special. People often told him he was too plain and too ordinary. But one letter changed everything. It came on a warm afternoon when Tom was just closing the shop. The envelope looked official, sealed with a deep red mark. His name was written in neat handwriting, and the return address carried the name of a law office. He frowned as he opened it. The words inside surprised him so much that he sat down on the nearest chair. His uncle had passed away. Tom barely knew this uncle. He remembered meeting him only a few times as a child. His mother had once explained that her brother traveled often and worked in strange jobs. Tom's uncle was wealthy, that much everyone knew, but he lived far away and stayed out of the family's daily life. Now the letter said Tom was his heir. Tom thought it must be a mistake. He was not close to this man. Why would his uncle leave him anything? Still, the letter was clear. It asked him to come to the lawyer's office the next morning. The whole night Tom could not sleep. He kept turning the letter in his hands, wondering what kind of inheritance it could be. Perhaps it was money or a small share of land. Perhaps his uncle had simply left him a watch or an old book. Nothing about it made sense. The next morning, Tom sat nervously across from a tall lawyer who wore glasses. The man opened a folder and looked at him with a calm smile. "Your uncle trusted you," the lawyer said. "He has left something very unusual in your care. What is it?" Tom asked, his voice unsteady. The lawyer handed him a set of old keys and a small black card. "It is a property," the man explained. "A house on the edge of the city. Your uncle said you would understand its value once you explored it. He left no bank accounts, no cash. Only this house." Tom blinked. "That's it? Just a house?" "Not just a house," and the lawyer replied in a quiet voice. "He said it holds his greatest treasure. He wanted you to be the one to discover it." Tom walked out of the office feeling even more confused. A treasure? His uncle had been a rich man. Why hide treasure inside a house? Still, he decided to visit the property that very day. The house stood in a quiet area, surrounded by tall trees and a broken iron gate. Dust covered the windows and ivy climbed across the walls. It looked abandoned, as if no one had entered for years. Tom pushed the gate open and walked up the stone path. His hand shook as he tried the keys. The door creaked open with a low groan. Inside, the air was cool and heavy, filled with the smell of time. Old furniture sat covered with sheets. Paintings hung crooked on the walls. At first glance, it was just another forgotten home. But Tom felt something strange in the air, as if the house was alive. He searched room after room until he found a study with shelves full of books. On the desk lay a letter with his name written across it. He picked it up and read carefully. "My dear Tom, if you are reading this, then I am gone, and you now hold my greatest secret. This house is more than a home. Beneath it lies a place I built with help from friends beyond the stars. You may not believe me yet, but soon you will. You are my heir not for wealth, but for duty. You will find companions waiting for you below. They are my last gift to you." Tom's hand shook as he lowered the letter. Friends beyond the stars? Companions waiting below? None of it made sense. His uncle must have been joking. Or perhaps he had lost his mind before passing away. But the words felt serious, almost heavy with truth. He searched the study until he found a hidden switch under the desk. When he pressed it, part of the wall slid open, revealing a narrow staircase that led down into darkness. Tom's heart pounded. He hesitated at the top of the stairs, wondering if he should leave and forget the whole thing. But curiosity pushed him forward. Step by step, he went down into the hidden passage. The walls glowed faintly with strange lines that pulsed like veins of light. He felt as if he had stepped into another world. At the bottom, he reached a chamber filled with machines unlike anything he had ever seen. Strange tubes, glowing panels, and smooth silver walls surrounded him. In the center of the room stood two large glass capsules tall enough to hold a person. Tom's breath caught. Something was inside them. He moved closer, his eyes wide. In each capsule, a figure rested in silence. Both looked almost human, yet not quite. Their features were soft and beautiful, but their skin carried a faint shimmer and their hair fell in flowing strands that seemed too perfect to be real. Tom stumbled back, his mind racing. His uncle's words now echoed in his head. Companions from beyond the stars, waiting below, and they were right in front of him. Tom stood frozen in front of the two capsules. His heart raced faster than ever before. He could hardly breathe as his eyes stayed fixed on the figures inside. They were not machines or statues. They looked alive. Their stillness was like sleep, not lifelessness. The glass was clear enough for him to see their faces. One had long silver hair that shimmered under the soft light of the chamber. Her expression was calm, her eyes closed as if she were lost in a dream. The other had golden hair that framed her gentle face. She looked younger, and her lips curved slightly as though she might smile even in her sleep. Tom stepped closer. His reflection showed faintly on the glass, and for a moment he felt like an intruder in a place that was not his. He remembered his uncle's letter again. Companions from beyond the stars. Waiting below, but how could this be real? His uncle had been human. How could he have found beings like this? Tom placed his hand lightly against the glass of the first capsule. To his shock, the surface warmed under his touch. A faint hum filled the chamber and the machines around him flickered with light. He pulled his hand back, startled, but it was too late. The whole room seemed to awaken. The capsules glowed brighter and soft streams of energy ran through the walls. Tom stumbled backward, his legs weak. He had no idea if he had made a mistake or if this was what his uncle had planned. With a sudden hiss, the first capsule opened. The silver-haired woman slowly stirred, her chest rising as she took her first breath outside the capsule. Her eyes opened, revealing a shade of blue so deep that Tom felt as though he had fallen into the ocean. She stepped forward with graceful movements, her bare feet making no sound against the smooth floor. Tom froze. He wanted to say something, but his voice caught in his throat. The woman looked at him quietly for a long moment before she spoke. Her voice was soft, musical, and calm. "You must be the heir," Tom blinked. "The heir?" "Yes," she said with a gentle nod. "You carry his blood. You carry his name. That means you are chosen." Before Tom could ask what she meant, the second capsule opened. The golden-haired woman awoke with a soft gasp, her eyes bright green like fresh spring leaves. She looked around quickly, her expression lively and curious. Unlike the first, who carried herself with calm dignity, this one almost bounced on her feet with energy. "Finally free," she whispered, stretching her arms before her gaze landed on Tom. "Oh, a human. Are you the one?" Tom swallowed hard. I don't know what you mean." The silver-haired woman stepped closer. "I am Mira," she said. She placed her hand lightly on her chest in greeting. "This is Lonnie." Lonnie grinned, tilting her head. "So you're the one who opened the chamber. That means you're the new master, right?" "Master?" Tom repeated, shaking his head. "I'm not anyone's master. I don't even know what's happening here. I just found this place." Mira studied him with calm eyes. "You are the nephew of the man who freed us. He promised we would be passed on to one who could be trusted. That is you." Tom stepped back, shaking his head. "My uncle. He never told me any of this. I don't understand. Who are you, really? Where did you come from?" Mira's gaze softened. "We are not from your world. We are from beyond the stars. Long ago, your uncle came to our people. He helped us when we were in danger. In return, we offered him our service and our lives. But he asked only for guardianship. He kept us safe here in this chamber until the time came for us to awaken again." Lonnie added quickly, "And that time is now. You're the one chosen to continue his bond with us." Tom's head spun. None of it sounded possible. Yet the proof stood right in front of him. Two living beings more beautiful than anyone he had ever seen, claiming to be from the stars. "I don't think I can do this," he admitted, his voice low. "I'm just me. I don't have money or power. I'm not special." Lonnie laughed softly. "That's what makes this fun. You don't need to be special. You just need to be you." Mira gave her a calm look, then turned back to Tom. "Your uncle trusted you. That means we will trust you too. The path may be difficult, but we will guide you." Tom looked between them, unsure of what to say. His uncle had left him with more than a house. He had left him with responsibility that reached beyond Earth itself. "Why me?" he whispered again. "Because you are human," Mira answered simply, "and humanity is stronger than you realize." The chamber fell into silence. Tom felt the weight of their words pressing down on him. He did not know where this would lead, but one thing was certain. His life would never be the same again. Tom sat on a metal bench inside the strange chamber, trying to calm his racing thoughts. Mira and Lonnie stood nearby, speaking softly to each other in a language he could not understand. Their words flowed like music, gentle yet filled with meaning. When they noticed his troubled expression, Mira came closer and sat across from him. "You wish to understand," she said kindly. "We will tell you everything." Tom nodded slowly. "Please, I need to know why my uncle kept this secret." "I need to know what all of this really means." Mira folded her hands neatly in her lap. Her calm voice carried a weight of history. "Many years ago, your uncle was not the man you remember. He traveled far from this planet. He found himself among our people who were facing a time of despair. We were losing our home to enemies who wished to take all we had. But your uncle, he did something no one expected. He fought not with weapons but with courage and wisdom. He spoke for us when no one else would. He saved our people." Tom stared at her in disbelief. "My uncle? He never told anyone about this. He was just a wealthy man. That's all I knew." "He was more than that," Mira said softly. "Your uncle was given great honor. Our council wished to reward him with treasures and power. But he refused. He asked only for peace and the chance to help preserve what was left of our bond with humans. So the council made another choice. They gave him guardianship over us." Lonnie leaned forward, her green eyes bright. "That's where we come in. We weren't forced, Tom. We were chosen. We agreed to serve, protect, and share life with the one your uncle named as heir. First it was him. Now it's you." Tom rubbed his forehead. The idea seemed too big for him to hold in his mind. "So then what exactly are you supposed to do?" Mira answered carefully. "We are companions, but not in the way you might think. We are here to guide, to protect, and to share knowledge. We hold skills and wisdom from our world. With us by your side, you may learn what few humans have ever known, but more than that, we are here to be with you, to walk the path you choose." Tom looked between them, feeling a strange weight settle in his chest. "But I'm just ordinary. I don't know how to lead anyone. I don't know how to carry something like this. Why would my uncle trust me with you?" Mira's blue eyes held a gentle warmth. "Because he saw something in you. He believed in the quiet strength of your heart. Wealth and power mean little without trust. He trusted you to care for us, not to use us." Lonnie smiled, tilting her head playfully. "Besides, you're not boring. You opened the chamber, didn't you? That already makes you different from most humans." Tom gave a nervous laugh. "I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was just exploring." "Exactly," Lonnie replied. "That's the kind of courage our people respect. Stepping into the unknown without running away." The words made Tom pause. He had never thought of himself as brave, but hearing it from them planted a new thought inside his heart. After a quiet moment, Mira stood and walked toward one of the glowing panels on the wall. She touched it gently and the room shifted. Images appeared in the air, shimmering like light caught in water. Tom saw strange landscapes, tall silver towers, and skies filled with stars brighter than any he had seen from Earth. "This is our world," Mira explained. "Or what is left of it. These memories were placed here for your uncle, and now for you. We wanted you to see with your own eyes that our words are true." Tom's mouth fell open as he stared at the moving pictures. He saw beings that looked like Mira and Lonnie, tall and graceful, walking through wide plazas. He saw great machines that floated in the air and rivers that shone like liquid crystal. He even saw a great council chamber where figures in long robes raised their hands in peace. The vision faded, and the chamber returned to silence. Tom sat stunned, unable to find the right words. Lonnie broke the silence with a softer voice than before. "Tom, your uncle didn't hide this from you to cause fear. He did it to prepare you. He wanted you to live your life freely until the time was right. Now that time has come." Tom looked down at his hands. They were shaking slightly, but he closed them into fists to steady himself. "So, this is my inheritance. Not money, not land, but the two of you and everything that comes with you." "Yes," Mira said with a small nod. "It is more than wealth. It is responsibility. What you do with it will shape not only your life but perhaps the bond between our worlds." Tom took a deep breath. He still felt uncertain, but something inside him began to shift. His uncle must have trusted him for a reason, and now Mira and Lonnie were looking at him with hope in their eyes. "All right," he said quietly. "I don't know how, but I'll try. I'll accept this. I'll try to honor what my uncle started." Mira bowed her head slightly, a sign of respect. Lonnie clapped her hands with delight. "Good," Lonnie said brightly, "because the real adventure hasn't even started yet." Tom managed a small smile, though his heart still beat fast. He had stepped into a world he never knew existed, and there was no turning back. The following days were unlike anything Tom had ever known. The quiet, simple life he once lived seemed far away, replaced by a house filled with mysteries and two alien companions who spoke of worlds beyond imagination. Each morning when he awoke, Mira and Lani were already awake, moving through the hidden chambers as if they had never been asleep for so many years. Tom often watched them in silence. Mira walked with calm steps, her silver hair flowing behind her as she studied the glowing machines, pressing symbols that brought images to life. Lani, on the other hand, was full of energy. She touched everything, asking endless questions about the earth objects in the upper house. Sometimes she picked up an old book or a cracked vase and turned it around with a puzzled smile. "You humans keep the strangest things," Lani said one morning, holding a broken radio. "This doesn't even glow or move, and yet you keep it like treasure." Tom laughed a little. "That's because it plays sound when it works. Songs, voices, news. It connects people." Lani's eyes lit up with excitement. "Songs? You mean like music?" "Yes," Tom answered. He turned a small dial, and the old radio crackled to life for a moment before fading. Lani leaned closer, her green eyes wide with delight even at the broken sounds. Mira smiled softly from the corner. "Your kind treasures memory in simple things. That is beautiful." Tom felt a warmth in his chest at her words. He had never thought much about the small objects around him, but now they seemed to carry meaning he had ignored before. Later that day, Mira guided Tom to a wide table in the chamber. She placed a small silver device on it, no larger than his hand. "This," she explained, "is a learning stone. It holds knowledge from our people." "Place your hand on it," Tom hesitated. "Will it hurt?" Mira shook her head. "No, it will only show you." With a deep breath, Tom touched the smooth surface. At once, his vision filled with shapes and words not of Earth. He saw patterns of stars, diagrams of machines, and glowing streams of energy that moved like rivers in the sky. He pulled his hand back, breathing quickly as the images faded. "What was that?" he asked. "Our way of teaching," Mira said. "Your uncle learned much from us in this way. You can too if you're willing." Tom looked at his hand, still tingling with strange warmth. "It felt like dreaming while awake." Lani grinned. "That's the best way to learn. Quick, fun, and no heavy books to carry." Day by day, Tom returned to the stone. Slowly, he began to understand the symbols and shapes. Mira explained what he saw with patience, while Lani cheered whenever he remembered something correctly. He learned about tools that could bend gravity, heal wounds with light, and hold more power than any battery on Earth. At first, Tom felt overwhelmed, but as time passed, he began to enjoy the lessons. He felt like a student again, though this was a school unlike any other. One evening, as the sun dipped low outside, Tom and the two alien women sat together in the main room of the house. The dust had been cleared and soft lamps glowed warmly. Tom looked at them, unsure how to express the thoughts in his heart. "I don't know how to explain this," he began slowly, "but I feel different now, not just because of the machines or the knowledge. It's because of you two. When I first saw you, I thought you were strangers I couldn't understand, but now I feel like you belong here." Mira's calm eyes softened.
"And you belong with us, Tom. Bonds are not made by blood alone."
"They are made by choice. You have chosen to learn, and that has opened the door between us." Lani leaned forward with a bright smile. "See, I told you it would be fun. You're not ordinary anymore. You're one of us now." Tom laughed, though a bit nervously. "I don't think I'll ever be like you. But maybe that's not the point." "No," Mira said gently. "The point is to walk together. Different but united." For the first time, Tom felt something stronger than confusion. He felt a sense of belonging. His uncle had given him more than responsibility. He had given him a chance to form a bond across worlds. That night, Tom sat by his window looking at the stars. He wondered if somewhere out there beyond the night sky, Mira and Lani's home was still waiting. He wondered if one day he might see it for himself. But for now, he was content to learn, to grow, and to discover what it meant to be chosen. His quiet life was gone, but something better had taken its place. He was no longer alone. The days in the hidden house passed with a strange rhythm. Tom grew used to the glowing machines, the gentle voices of Mira, and the playful laughter of Lani. He felt less like a stranger in his uncle's world and more like a part of it. But beneath the peace, something new began to stir. One morning, Mira stood near the learning stone, her face tense. She touched the silver device and lines of light stretched across the chamber wall. Tom looked up and saw shifting patterns like waves of energy moving in space. "What is it?" he asked. Mira's voice was calm but firm. "A signal. Someone is searching." Lonnie stopped bouncing a small earth ball she had found. Her smile faded. "Are you sure?" "It could just be random noise." Mira shook her head. "No, this is not noise. This is a pulse from the outer rim." "It carries intent," Tom frowned. "Outer rim? You mean not from Earth?" "Yes," Mira answered. "From the stars. It seems another faction has found traces of our presence here." Tom felt his stomach tighten. He had only just begun to understand his inheritance. Now he was hearing that strangers from space might already know about it. "What do they want?" "Possibly us," Mira said. Her voice stayed steady, but her eyes were troubled. "Or perhaps what we carry. Knowledge. Power. Even the bond with you could make them curious." Lonnie crossed her arms, her playful tone gone. "They never gave up, did they? Even after all this time?" Tom looked at them both. "So you've been hiding here because others would come after you?" Mira nodded. "Yes, your uncle understood that keeping us safe meant keeping Earth safe. If the wrong ones find us, they may try to take more than just us. They may see your planet as weak and open for their control." Tom's heart raced. "But Earth isn't ready for that. People don't even know about any of this. That is why we must be careful," Mira said. The chamber grew quiet. The glow of the machines painted soft light across the walls, but Tom felt the air grow heavy. For the first time since meeting Mira and Lonnie, he realized how dangerous this inheritance could be. It was not just about learning or companionship. It was about survival. That evening, Tom sat alone in the study of the upper house. The dust had been cleared, but the air still smelled faintly of old wood. He looked at his uncle's books and letters, searching for answers. His uncle had written about courage, about bonds stronger than fear. But no words could prepare him for the idea of strangers from the stars searching for them now. He heard light footsteps. Lonnie entered carrying 2 mugs of warm tea. She set one on the table beside him and sat down. "You're quiet," she said softly. Tom gave a small nod. "I'm trying to think. I don't know how to handle this. If others come, what can I do? I'm just a man with no power, no weapons." Lonnie smiled faintly. "You have more than you think. Mira believes in you. I believe in you too, and your uncle believed in you most of all. Do you think he would have chosen you if you had nothing?" Tom looked into her green eyes. They were bright, filled with hope even in the middle of worry. He sighed. "I guess not. But it still feels heavy." "That's what makes you right for it," Lonnie replied. "If it feels heavy, it means you care. That's what separates you from those who only want power." Her words gave him some comfort. He sipped the tea slowly, letting the warmth ease his thoughts. Later that night, Mira joined them. She had been studying the signal for hours. Her expression was calm, but her voice carried seriousness. "The good news," she said, "is that the signal is distant. Whoever sent it has not yet reached Earth. But the bad news is that they will not stop. We have only a short time to prepare." Tom stood. "Then we need to be ready. I don't know how, but I won't let anyone take you away. I won't let them touch this house or Earth." Mira's calm eyes softened. "That is the strength of humanity. You face danger not with power, but with loyalty. That is why we stand with you." For the first time, Tom saw both Mira and Lonnie not just as mysterious companions, but as partners in something greater. Their trust gave him courage he didn't know he had. The 3 of them spent the next days preparing. Mira taught Tom how to use basic defense tools hidden in the chamber. Silver bands that created shields of light and rods that could project energy strong enough to push heavy objects. Lonnie practiced moving swiftly through the rooms, turning even play into training. Tom learned quickly, surprising himself. Each day he felt a little stronger, a little more capable. He still feared what was coming, but he no longer felt helpless. One evening, as they stood outside under the night sky, Tom looked up at the stars. "They're out there, aren't they? The ones sending the signal?" "Yes," Mira said. "But so are countless others. Not all are enemies. Some are friends. You must remember that." Lonnie grinned, pointing up. "And maybe one day you'll see our world with your own eyes." Tom smiled faintly. "Maybe. But right now I'm more worried about keeping this one safe." The stars twinkled above, silent witnesses to his promise. The days passed quickly, yet tension remained in the house. Tom, Mira, and Lonnie continued their training and learning, But the signal from the stars grew stronger. The three of them knew that someone was approaching, and the calm of their lives had begun to feel fragile. One morning, Mira spoke with a serious tone. "The scouts are near," she said. "They are small in number, but they are advanced. They will come to test us." Tom's heart raced. "Test us? How? Are they going to attack?" "They may try," Lonnie said, her voice quieter than usual. "But we can handle them if we work together." Tom swallowed, trying to steady his thoughts. He had trained with their tools, but he had never faced a real threat. "I don't know if I'm ready," he admitted. Mira placed her hand gently on his shoulder. "You are ready because you care. That is more important than skill. Courage comes from the heart, not the hand." Later that day, a soft hum vibrated through the air. Tom looked outside and saw a small ship hovering just above the trees. It was sleek and silver, unlike any aircraft on Earth. A panel opened, revealing figures inside. Tom's chest tightened as he realized they had come from Mira and Lonnie. "They're here," he whispered. Mira stepped forward calmly. "Remember, Tom, speak for yourself and for us. Let them see your heart, not just your words." Lonnie crouched slightly, ready to move at a moment's notice. "And I'll be ready to help," she said. "We'll face them together." The scout ship landed softly and two figures emerged. They were humanoid but had sharp features and glowing eyes. They approached slowly, scanning the house and the three occupants. Tom felt fear, but he forced himself to stand tall. "Who are you?" one of the figures asked, its voice cold but clear. Tom took a deep breath. "I am Tom. This house is my uncle's, and now it is mine. These companions are under my care. We are not here to fight, but we will defend ourselves if needed." The alien scout tilted its head. "Humans are weak. Why should we respect your claim?" Tom felt his hands tighten into fists, but he remembered Mira's words. He spoke with steady resolve. "I may be human, but I will not let you take what I care about. These beings are not objects. They are my companions. You will see our bond is strong." Mira and Lanny moved closer, their presence calm but firm. Together they stood as one, radiating a quiet strength. The scouts paused, observing. For a long moment no one spoke. Then the leader of the scouts stepped back and lowered its head slightly. "Your loyalty is unusual. Most humans would flee or beg. We see that you are different." Tom felt a mixture of relief and disbelief. "Different?" he asked. "Yes," the scout replied. "You face danger not with power, but with courage and loyalty. That is why we retreat for now. But remember, we will return if your bond weakens." With that, the scouts stepped back into their ship. It rose silently into the night sky and vanished among the stars. Tom sank onto the ground, breathing heavily. Lonnie knelt beside him, her green eyes shining. "You did it, Tom. You spoke from your heart." Mira smiled softly, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Yes, you have passed the first test. You did not rely on weapons alone. You showed them that your bond is strong. That is more powerful than anything else." Tom shook his head in disbelief. "I can't believe it. I was so scared." "That is why it matters," Mira said. "Fear tests us. Courage shows who we truly are." The three of them spent the rest of the night discussing what had happened. Tom realized that his inheritance was not just about learning or companionship. It was about standing firm in the face of danger, protecting those who could not protect themselves, and proving that loyalty and courage mattered more than strength or technology. As the sun rose the next morning, Tom felt a new sense of purpose. He had faced fear and uncertainty and had not faltered. Mira and Lanny's trust in him had not been misplaced. Together they had survived the first challenge. Lonnie leaned against him, smiling. "See? I told you humans could surprise even the stars." Tom laughed softly, feeling the tension finally lift. "I hope so. But I know this is only the beginning. Others may come." "Yes," Mira said. "But you are no longer alone. We face them together. Your courage, our guidance, and our bond will see us through." Tom looked at them both, feeling a warmth in his chest. His life had changed completely, and now he understood what his uncle had meant. The inheritance was not wealth or power. It was a chance to grow, to learn, and to protect what was important. For the first time, Tom felt ready for the challenges ahead. He was no longer just a man in a quiet city. He was a guardian, chosen by fate and trusted by those beyond the stars. The adventure was far from over, but for the first time, he believed they could face whatever came next together. The night after the scouts had left was calm. Tom, Mira, and Lonnie sat together in the main chamber of the hidden house. The soft glow from the machines reflected in their eyes, casting gentle light across the room. For the first time in weeks, Tom felt a quiet peace settle over him. Mira spoke first. "The test is over, but the journey continues. Others may come, but now you know your strength and courage. That is the first lesson." Lonnie smiled brightly, bouncing slightly on her feet. "And now we can start living. Not just surviving, but learning and enjoying life together." Tom looked at them both. He remembered the day he had found them in the capsules, frozen in sleep. He remembered the confusion, fear, and wonder he had felt. Now, after all the lessons, the challenges, and the first encounter with the scouts, he felt something new. Belonging. He realized that this was more than responsibility. This was family. "You know," Tom said softly, "I used to think I was ordinary. I didn't know what I could do. But now I feel like I belong here. With both of you, and with this house. It's more than just a place. It's home." Mira's blue eyes glimmered with warmth. "Home is not the walls or the furniture, Tom. Home is where trust, care, and understanding live." "You have found it." Lonnie leaned on his shoulder, her green eyes sparkling.
And we are part of that home.
"Together nothing can break it." Tom smiled and stood up. "I think we should explore more of this house. There are still rooms we haven't seen, machines we haven't touched, and stories we haven't discovered." The three of them moved together through the chambers. Tom's heart was light for the first time since he inherited the house. Mira guided him through rooms filled with glowing panels and devices he had yet to understand. Lonnie's excitement made the halls feel alive, as if the walls themselves were welcoming him. In one chamber, Tom found a panel that projected stars in a three-dimensional map. He reached out and touched the holographic lights. Mira explained, "These are the regions of our galaxy. Some are peaceful, some are dangerous. The universe is vast, but it is also connected by bonds like ours." Tom's eyes widened. He had never imagined seeing the stars in such detail, so close, so real. Lonnie reached out too, moving her fingers through the stars with curiosity and laughter. "This is amazing," Tom said. "I never knew anything like this existed." "And now, we are part of it." Mira nodded. "Yes, and one day you may travel beyond this planet. But for now, we learn together here and we protect what we have." Lonnie's smile grew mischievous. "And maybe we can teach you some fun things too. Not just serious stuff." Tom laughed, feeling joy he had never experienced before. The house no longer felt strange or frightening. It was a place of learning, of growth, and of shared adventure. The two women who had once seemed so otherworldly now felt close, almost like family he had never known he needed. As the sun rose the next morning, the light poured into the chambers. Tom, Mira, and Lonnie stood by the large windows at the edge of the property, looking out at the city below. For a moment they were silent, each lost in thought. Tom finally spoke. "I understand now. My uncle's gift wasn't just you two or this house. It was the chance to see beyond what I thought was possible, to learn courage, loyalty, and love. I won't waste it." Mira placed a hand on his shoulder. "You already honor it, Tom, by caring, by learning, and by standing with us." Lonnie smiled and linked her hand with his. "And together we'll face whatever comes. We are ready for anything, as long as we stay together." Tom felt a warmth spread through him. He realized that the universe, which had once seemed so vast and unreachable, now felt closer because he was not alone. He had companions, teachers, friends, and family all at once. The inheritance of his uncle was not gold or jewels. It was trust, responsibility, and a chance to grow beyond what he had imagined. The day passed with laughter, lessons, and exploration. Tom learned to control some of the devices in the chambers, guided by Mira's patient instructions. Lonnie taught him small tricks to move with agility, to observe and respond quickly, and even to enjoy simple moments of play. By the evening, Tom felt stronger, wiser, and more connected than ever. As night fell, they sat outside under the stars. Tom looked up at the sky, thinking of the distant worlds Mira and Lonnie had spoken of, the scout ship that had visited, and the challenges yet to come. He smiled. "No matter what happens," he said softly, "we will face it together. And one day maybe I'll see your world, Mira, Lonnie, but until then, this is enough. This is home." Mira and Lonnie looked at him with gentle smiles. Together they watched the stars, silent witnesses to a bond that spanned worlds. Tom understood now that his life had changed forever. He was no longer ordinary. He was chosen, trusted, and ready to face the future. And in that quiet moment, with the house behind them and the stars above, the three of them knew one thing. Whatever the universe held, they would face it as one. The adventure of Tom, Mira, and Lonnie was only beginning, and together, nothing could break the bond they had formed.